so now so that I'm hoping that that part is clear. So that's the discussion. Now I wanted to talk about the assignment. I'm going to try to get some of these documents uploaded for us. Okay, so here's the basics for the assignment. There is a template for the assignment, and it looks like this. It's basically a calendar like schedule. And here's what you're trying to identify and figure out and schedule. The idea behind this, I guess, is important. The idea behind this is that we're trying to figure out how do we apply things that we learned in this class to real life. Okay, so what we figured out in this class, or what we focused on, are arguments, making arguments, persuading people, that type of interaction. So what they're trying to get you to do with this last assignment is to think about how you might be able to do that in actual real life. What that means is, I would have.
So sorry, your voice is disconnected. So regarding our argument,
okay, wait. No, can you hear me now?
Lessons,
can you still hear me?
yes, I can hear you
okay,
now.
good. Okay, perfect. No, so what you're trying to do is think of ways in your real life that you can use some of these skills about argument. So what you need to think about is you need to think of 4 scenarios or 4 episodes over the next 12 months where you will have an opportunity to basically argue with somebody. So you're trying to think of a conflict that might happen at a certain time. So, for example, one of the things that I use as an example is I know that, in November, my sister and I are going to have to figure out where we're going to have Christmas. And I know that's going to be a conflict because she's going to want it there and I'm going to want it somewhere else, blah, blah. And so then I will use that as one of my scenarios, and I will talk about how I'm going to handle that episode. So you're trying to think of 4 different episodes in your life, and then you're just basically scheduling them. So here's the little chart that I made. So because it can be a conflict on any level, right? So it could be like a school conflict, work conflict, housing conflict. So if I have to move, for example, or I know someone's going to raise my rent, or I need to go negotiate with my person, and that's coming up, I can talk about that conflict, and here's what's going to happen, and here's what I will say, and how I will argue, and so on. Like specific examples, getting married is an event, so there's maybe conflict in that, like where we're holding the reception or something. Divorce, obvious conflict. How to handle and how to talk to the person that you're divorcing or whatever. Housing situation, conflict over billing or credits or with school, choosing a major or something like that. It could also be family, like the one that I talked about. So, there's going to be a conflict or a discussion needs to happen over where a holiday is going to take place. Some people have there's a member of the family who's not talking to another member of the family, and they're going to see them. And so they create a plan for how to help this situation. And again, you're using your argument skills or your persuasion skills. That's the idea. Traveling, conflict, argument with a family member. So these are all very personal and family. You can also be somebody who might want to deal with something in your town, right? So if there's a place, there should be a stop sign, for example, or a stoplight in your town, right? So here, where are you going to go? Who do you need to talk to? What are you going to say? It could be that you want the library to be open for more hours. So you're thinking of that as how you're going to approach that. The whole concept is that you're planning how to approach these specific episodes. And just doing that prepares you, to do well and succeed as far as persuading people and resolving conflict. So you're trying to find 4 of these things, and they can be everything from the very personal, family, like city, town, or even larger issues, right? So there needs to be, guns need to be outlawed. Pretend that if that was one of your ideas, how would you go about doing that? And you want to put it at, on a certain time. So here's the template, right? So there's 4 parts because, like I said, you need to have 4 different episodes that you are going to engage in some sort of conflict or argument or persuasion, and you want to do them based on times of the year. So this is a whole. The plan is for an entire year, from like right now to a year from right now. So basically, you break it up into like 3-month 3-month increments. So from right now, what are we in? So we're going to do like today's month. All right. So it's like starting in September. November, December. So September through December of 2021. That's my first section, right? So I'm thinking of a conflict or a situation that's coming up that'll take place during this time. And here are the questions that you answer, right? Basically, what passion, this is an interesting way they phrase it. What passion led you to choose this particular argument opportunity? So passion, it just means what made you, basically. What led you to choose this? Like, you're uncomfortable because these 2 people in the family aren't talking to each other. You really want to have Christmas at your house. That could make you do something. So what led you to decide to pick this opportunity? Why did you decide to place it in this particular section? So for me, I would say I'm going to talk to my sister and figure out where we're going to have Christmas, and I'm going to put it in this section. So the reason that I'm putting it here is because that's when Christmas is, right? December 25th. So I need to talk to her before that. So that's my answer to those things. And then how am I going to approach this? What am I going to say to her? What what am I going to offer as, like, if I'm trying to persuade her, what will I say? What might she say to me that I will need to think about? Something like that. The last one is, how might it change the world? Again, this depends on what your conflict is, right? The conflict between me and my sister, probably not going to change the whole world, but it might make us both less stressed because we'll have figured it out and we'll move on or something. And then you're doing it for another 3-month segment. And you basically do this 4 different times. And you just fill in this. Okay, so these are the questions, and you answer them in 1 paragraph, all these questions that I just went over. The other thing is, you're looking up a book, and you're trying to find a book that could help you, that might help you with this argument or conflict or episode that you're going to be involved in, right? So, like, for example, maybe I pick a book about relationships between brothers and sisters, right? Something about that, because that might help me when I'm talking to my sister and trying to figure something out. So you just want to find a book. You don't have to actually get it and read it. You can do that on your own if you feel like it, right? But you just want to find one and then put the title, the author, and the year here. And then explain how it might help you. That's the other part of the book.
Then, for example, from December to
December.
like February.
Yep. You pick something else. You pick another opportunity, right? So there's opportunity for argument, opportunity for persuasion. It's basically just an interaction. So, and it can be anything. Again, it could be personal. Some people, maybe they have to decide if they're going to still take classes for a certain session because stuff is, going on in their life. That might come later or whatever. But yeah, so then you do something for those 3 months, then the next 3, and then another. So you do it 4 different times.
Okay. And for sure, it's gonna be for like the next 12 months. Can we say something from the past 12 months?
No, because you have to plan because it's something that you're going to do,
Okay.
right? I mean, it can be a conflict from the past, but you want to, it's whatever, like you're going to resolve it in the
The
future,
future.
right? Why is this computer? So actually, September to December. And then it's actually, you start with January. So I was wrong about that. Oh, wait, I'm missing October. Sorry. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's totally different. I skipped a whole month. September, October, November, December, January, February. Okay, so that's the breakdown for this for us. September, November.
Basically, I guess 2022.
Exactly. So you have an episode, you assign the episode to a certain time period that makes sense.
And for each episode, like write 1 paragraph should be enough.
Yes.
Okay.
On these questions, this thing. Professional argument opportunity is what they're called. I guess I should just call it that. And then you find a book.
For each episode, you should find a book.
Yes. And again, you don't have to read the whole book, but you're just basically finding one that would help you with the argument opportunity, like which. So it's just something that has to do with whatever you're dealing with. Okay. You have questions about it?
And